Welcome to the Farmish Kind of Life podcast, where we talk about homesteading stuff and life stuff and everything in between. Join me, Amy Dingman, as we explore big questions on a little farm. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Farmish Kind of Life podcast, where we talk about life and how to live a good one. Today is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. This is episode 311. Today we are talking about, well, there's a photo I posted recently on Facebook of my messy barn. It was nothing fancy. It was nothing filtered. It was just real life mid-project. I almost didn't post it, but I'm really glad I did because it reminded me just how starved people are for honesty. And it reminded me also how loud the internet can be when you dare to show something imperfect. So today we are talking about vulnerability and judgment and truth and why I think we need more messy barn moments, not fewer. But before we get to the main topic, what else has been happening on the Lifestead? Well, I missed last week's recording, so I never got to update you on what happened with our maple syrup adventure. We boiled down all that sap that we had. We had about 40 gallons of sap. We boiled it down. It was a 2-day adventure. We learned a ton, and we ended up with 1.5 gallons of maple syrup. It's delicious. It takes a really long time. It's a long process, but we will absolutely do it again. It was so cool to think that we have taken this sap from the trees. All we had to do was collect it and then spend a couple days boiling down and panicking, texting some friends going, am I doing this right? Why is it doing this? What do I do? So awesome to have friends on speed dial. Do we call it speed dial anymore? Not really, because we're texting, I suppose. I don't know. But thankful for my friends, Aaron and Ashley, who walked me through all the issues and all the things that I didn't understand. So it is good to get yourself some friends to help explain what is going on, what else is happening. It feels like everything is just happening at once here because the farm is waking up. I got the rabbits who are just about to kindle, just about. I'm hoping this is going to happen. I have one who is pulling fur like a mad woman. So I'm assuming we're gonna get something there. Hopefully, the other rabbit is just like, I don't know. I don't really know what's going on, and I wish you would stop watching me get out of the barn. So we'll see what happens. But rabbits may be coming. That would be awesome. We also have 57 chicken eggs in 2 homemade incubators. So those should be hatching around Easter, maybe the day after Easter. I will be candling them this week. So hopefully we have a good fertilization rate and things are happening. So we can have some more baby chicks around here because Lord knows I'm not going to be able to get them from a store anywhere. That is just chaos. I believed we talked about that in the last episode. But if I end up with a really good hatch and have extras, because obviously I don't need 57 new chicks, I will be able to give some to friends or sell them to people or whatever. So that will be nice. Everybody will have chickens. And I think that's what the world needs, more chickens. World peace brought about by chickens. What do you think? Other than that, what else? I'm going to get my seeds started this week. Oh, and with that, I guess I have to tell you, I'm still working on my book, Peace, Love, and Bacon. With the death of my father-in-law and everything that happened after that, I got a little behind with some stuff. So obviously the book is not going to be out before I start seeds, which is what I had said, because now I'm a little bit behind with various parts of the process with my cover designer and different things like that. So I'm hoping that it's going to be out in May. It is still happening. It's still ready. We're just waiting on cover design stuff and formatting stuff. So all of that. So stay tuned for that. I didn't forget about the book. Promise you, I didn't. All right. With that, let's get over to the main topic and talk about this whole reason that I think we need more messy barn moments. So recently I posted a picture of my messy barn and I accidentally set the internet on fire. Some folks were cheering about this post. Other people were absolutely disgusted. They were clutching their pearls. A few of them, I think, would have even tried to nominate me for Worst Homesteader of the Year. I was just trying to be real. And apparently being real is still a very radical act. I don't know. So in this episode today, we are going to dig into what it means to be honest online, why some people see truth in a post and other people see that post as a target. And we're also going to talk about why I'm going to keep showing up. Mess on the floor and all. I'm still going to be here. Okay. So the post that started it all was posted on Facebook back on March 28th, I think. And it was this simple picture of what my big barn happened to look like at a particular moment in time where I was mid-project after a really windy day. And I had walked back in to feed the barn cats. You know, the day was kind of over and I'm going out to feed the barn cats. And I looked and I was like, wow, this is such a mess. Like, it's such a mess. And I decided to snap a picture because I was thinking, you know what? Sometimes this is what a barn looks like, you know, and wouldn't that be refreshing to see that online instead of all those, you know, like super edited, Pinterest perfect, or like the AI photos that make their way around. Like, this is what a barn looks like. This is what a farm looks like. Well, yeah, except sometimes it's a total mess and it looks like mine happened to look that day. So I took the picture, I posted it with this encouraging message that was basically, you know what, if your barn looks like this, sometimes you're not failing, life happens. And the whole point was to encourage people to not get caught up in perfection or feel like they should like give up if things are sometimes out of control. Now, I made the post and then I went and did other stuff, right? I went about my day. And when I checked my phone a few hours later, the post had gone insane. It had like hundreds of comments and reactions. I think they had like 400 and some shares. And I was like, what's going on here? Because sometimes when a post gets that popular that fast, you're like, oh, what happened, right? And that post now has like 2,000 comments, 5,000 shares, 17,000 reactions. It's been seen by over 1 million people. I've gained 2,000 followers just from that post. And side note, it's also been stolen by a lot of people. So you will see that post a lot of places, not as mine. So it's kind of been a little minor chaos here behind the scenes. But so here's what happened when that post took off. Thousands of people liked it, they shared it, and they commented things like, oh my gosh, thank you for showing this. Or, oh, thank goodness, this made me feel normal. Or, finally, someone's being real. Or I had a few people who even said, how did you get into my barn to take a picture? You know, ha ha ha. So, that was what I was hoping for. I wanted people to look at that picture and be like, oh, thank God, someone else out there, their barn looks like mine sometimes, you know, and it's not just all like chandeliers in the chicken coop and all, you know, all that crazy stuff that you see. So that was awesome. But then the other crowd showed up, and the other crowd had a lot to say about my barn and about me. I got called lazy. I got called unclean. I got called, oh, this one's my favorite, a typical Amish slob. First of all, I'm obviously not Amish. Second of all, what an oddly specific insult. Like, what? I got told I shouldn't even be allowed to have horses, which if you've been around here for a while, I don't have horses. I was also told my goats would be injured in a place so dirty. Like, I should be careful because my goats were going to get hurt. I'm like, I don't have goats. Like, what is going on here? I got told things like, you know what? Employers would absolutely crucify their barn help if the barn ever looked that bad. And I'm like, what are we talking about here? Because I will let you know when my barn help shows up. You're going to be waiting for a while, right? I don't have any barn help that's employed here to clean up my barn. So anyway, I happened to learn a lot about myself and my farm from some commenters on the internet who didn't even know my page existed until they somehow saw that post. And then they somehow immediately had it all figured out who I was and what kind of farm I run, right? But that's what happens on the internet. That's what happens on social media. You put something out into the world and it invites people to react. That's how this all works, right? And sometimes when people see someone not pretending, not slapping a filter over their picture or, you know, getting the mess out of the way and just taking the picture of everything that's already clean, sometimes when we see people posting stuff like that, the messy and the real and this is what life looks like when you're just doing the best you can, you will have people who will just breathe a sigh of relief and they're like, oh, thank goodness. You will also have people who will grab a pitchfork, not to help, but to, you know, the pitchfork gang, we're coming after you. And the pitchfork crowd was very, very loud on this post in the comments. Now, here is something that I think about a lot. There is a very specific difference, I think, between people who see something they don't agree with online and just scroll on past. There's a difference between those people and the people who see something they don't agree with and feel absolutely compelled to stop what they're doing, crack their knuckles, and then type out an essay on why you are the problem. Like, what? I cannot even imagine seeing a photo of someone's messy barn or their garden or their kitchen or their life and deciding to type out something like, "Oh my God, you are absolutely disgusting. You should be ashamed to call yourself a homesteader." Like, I cannot imagine taking the time to type that out on someone's post, but I get those kinds of comments. And what blows my mind is not just the intensity of it, but like the energy that it takes to comment that kind of thing. I see stuff I don't agree with every single day on the internet, every single day. And you know what I do? I scroll past it. And maybe I roll my eyes. Maybe I have a conversation in my head about why I think it's nonsense, but I move on. I'm definitely not going to make a public comment, that's flat out rude about what someone has posted. Because you know what? I know that person doesn't know me. I don't know them. They don't know me. I don't know them. I don't know anything about their life. And yelling in their comment section is not going to make me feel better. And it's not going to do anything for them. But some people don't scroll. Like, they have to be right. They have to be louder. They have to let you know they are better than you. They have to let you know they're smarter than you. And you know what? I don't think that's about you. I think that's about something unsettled in them. I don't think that barn post offended people because there was a stack of feed bags that blew around on the floor when I opened both ends of the barn, and the wind rushed through and blew the feed bags over. The stack that I had blew it over, all over the barn. And then the cats were excited and they were playing with the feed bags. And I don't think that's why they were offended by my post. I think maybe they were offended by my post because it reminded them that perfection isn't real. That's not real life. And maybe they've built their identity on pretending that it is. I don't know. I'm just supposing. So when you show up online or in a conversation or whatever, when you show up with your mess, you show up with your truth, you show up with your tired eyes and this to-do list that's 1,000,000 miles long, and you tape it to your fridge with a chicken sticker, they don't even know what to do with that. So instead of looking inward, they lash out. "Oh my God, that's so disgusting. You are a terrible farmer. You're not a real homesteader. You're an Amish slob. That's disgusting. Oh my God, I would never." So if you are ever on the receiving end of that noise, I think what's important to remember is just that loud does not mean right. It doesn't necessarily mean right. It just means it's louder. And not everyone who disagrees with you deserves a response. Because some people are just mad that you didn't ask for their opinion. That's what they're mad about. And maybe that's the unspoken risk of posting anything online. Because the second you say, "Hey, here's what I did today," someone will decide it's an invitation to explain why you did it wrong. But you know what? You don't owe anyone an explanation for living your actual life. You can let them write out a whole dissertation in the comments while you go and live the actual real story. And the thing is, I don't think that post about the messy barn was really even about the barn. Yes, the barn was messy. It's very messy, snapshot of a particular day, messy barn. And yes, I posted a picture of it. But the reason it resonated with so many people is because it wasn't polished. It wasn't cropped. It wasn't color corrected. It wasn't scrubbed to look like something out of a magazine. It looked like life, right? Just a snapshot in a random moment on a messy day. And I get that some people's barns are so clean that you could eat off the floor. I have only ever been in one barn like that in my entire life. It was a multi-million-dollar horse facility with multiple employees. But literally, that barn was like cleaner than any house I've ever been in. It was insane. It was beautiful. And I'm not dissing that. If your barn or your homestead or your whatever is amazingly clean 100% of the time, props to you. That's awesome. But that's not my life. And that's not everyone's life, because here's the truth. Some people are out there doing everything they can. They are raising animals. They are growing food. They are managing kids or work or grief or aging bodies or aging parents or so much stuff, right? And they're doing it all with dirt under their nails and dishes in the sink, and they don't have any employees to help. Or maybe they're dealing with a particularly sucky change in life, and it's just enough for them to keep the animals fed. And honestly, sometimes they're like, screw the rest. Because that's all they have brain space for. That's real life for some people. And when everything else online tells us that we should be doing more, or cleaning more, or managing more, and looking better while we do it, I think people are starved for a little honesty. So yeah, that barn was messy. So is life. That post was not saying, I never clean. That post was not saying, this is what my homestead looks like 365 days a year. That post was saying, you don't have to have it all perfect all the time to live a meaningful, capable, beautiful life. And that's why I think we need more messy barn posts. I think we need more mid-project chaos. I think we need more, this is what it really looked like before it was finished. I think we need more, look at this thing I'm figuring out in real time, instead of, look at my curated, perfect, finished product. I think we need people to show up as they are, not just when it's clean, not just when the lighting is good, but when they're halfway through the mess, because that's real life too. And that's when someone else sees your mess and goes, oh, I'm not the only one. Oh my gosh. And that is the kind of post that changes something. And I will take that over polished perfection any day. So if your metaphorical barn is messy today, and it doesn't have to be a barn, this can relate to anything. If whatever it is messy today, if your snapshot is messy today at this moment, that doesn't mean you're failing. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. I know that it is loud out there, but real still matters. And I'm going to keep posting the messy stuff if people are going to show up to read it. That's what I'm saying. So here's what we could do this week. If you've got yourself a messy barn moment or a messy kitchen moment or a messy life moment, whatever it is, if you post about it, will you tag me in it? Tag my, if this is on Facebook, tag my Facebook page, whatever. A Farmish Kind of Life, tag me in it so I can see it. Hopefully Facebook will show me. But I just like, I love to see real stuff. I like to see us coming together to post like, you know what? Yeah, I love it when everything's clean, but here's the reality at the moment. This didn't turn out the way I wanted, or I'm dealing with chaos right now. So, hey, this is what is going on here. I think those are so important to share. So think about that. If you post a messy barn, quote unquote, messy barn moment this week, share it with me, tag me. And yeah, that'll be great. All right. So that's what I have to update you on this week. That's what I have to share with you. I hope that this helped you somehow. You know me, I am not here to perform. I'm here to be real and to just help people feel more comfortable with what life sometimes actually is for most people. So there you go. Thank you so much for hanging out here with me and listening to me babble again. Have an awesome week, and I will talk to you again soon. Hope you enjoyed the show today. To continue the conversation, visit our website at afarmishkindoflife.com, find A Farmish Kind of Life on social media, or drop me an email at amy@afarmishkindoflife.com. Peace, love, and bacon, y'all. Stay Farmish.